Welcome. And I say welcome again. And this is the reading for today. So this is going to be interesting how this comes to my dance crew through today. So these are the cards. And today we're going to focus on joints. And the life attitude card gift is actually focus. Where is it? Ooh, that's interesting. There it is. I'm just playing with this here for a little bit. There is the focus card. And the movement is slow motion, which is interesting because I really desired that after last sessions. And this is below. Can you see it now? Below is our direction card. And the rhythm we're going to be playing with is the element air and stormy. And what is triple time offbeat? I'm going to explain to you. So this was probably a little fun thing. I see not very well. Yeah, I noticed it. Let's just take it. These are the words I'm putting out, and we're going to be focused on it. And now I'm actually inviting you back into my living room. So here we are. Welcome, and let's start with, get this going. Okay, let's start with standing up. And first thing, and I hope I can see you a little bit, and of course YouTube joiners, doesn't matter. Please just stand up and, feel yourself without me telling much. I just wonder, once you are in a standing position and I just tell you, how do you feel connected with your joints? Then what do you immediately feel? And is there a particular joint that is kind of calling out, maybe even screaming at you, really wanting your attention? So just give this a moment and also notice your breathing. And as you start focusing on your breathing in and out, please craft our stand together. Really spread out with the soles of your feet on the ground. Notice your ankles, how they nicely sit in your feet. Notice your knees and just bend them ever so slightly. Notice your big hip joints and sit like on a bar stool. Feel your tailbone and just sit on your legs. Then just crawl up your spine and tower that up like building blocks. Throw your shoulders and arms to the left and to the right and feel the top of your head nicely balanced between front and back and left and right. And now let's travel through the various joints. So the first one I'd like to invite you to go to is the top one. Your skull, the bottom of your skull, the top of your spine, and just ever so gently tune in with that joint. And just play a little bit with it. And of course you can play with stretching it as well, but just notice when you just focus on that, what happens. And I'm going to give us a little bit of music in the background, which you can relate to or ignore, whatever you want, but it may just carry you a little bit more into those different places. I hope you hear it just ever so slightly and still my voice. So just start with that top joint and play. And we will be focusing on one joint at a time. So let's crawl into our shoulder. Left or right, I don't care. And play with it. So slow motion is our other card, which at this point, I just want you to notice which pace feels right. Oh, I switched already to the other shoulder. Can you focus on both shoulders and the top joint in your spine, all the way through your neck? Do you notice how that is already connected with all your other joints, or does it stay isolated? Now let's move into our right arm or left, I don't care, whatever comes up. And also remembering the element we particularly like to connect with is air. So find a way, a quality in your movement that is very light, ever so light. So we are with shoulders, top, join your skull, and one arm. Feel and move to where it feels good. Let's join with the other arm and crawl into all the joints that you can find in your arms. I'm going to travel a little faster now and join in with the rest of your spine. Or how about we try to just go to your belly button. So explore your chest, focus on chest movements. And I actually, you probably can't see it very well. I picked a shirt today with those drawings are angels with a bow and arrow. So I'd like to focus and shoot some love air into your chest and into all these joints. Nourish the joints. And I get a message here. Oh, that is sweet. Thank you. You can see it. Wonderful. So you can take that image, wonderful bow and arrow, even into your dance, into your movements. But more so, I'd like you to focus on each individual joint, but more and more we're going to travel and see, is it even possible to focus on all of them at once? So gradually travel into your big hip joints, and can you freeze the upstairs and just roll into that joint or those two hip joints? And then how is that connected with your legs? Is it even possible to really just move the pelvis without joining in with like the knees? So let it now join and travel with the legs through the pelvis into the knees and add your arms again. Let it drop further down energetically into your ankles and the little toes, joints spreading out. And now let's see if it's possible for you to move through all the joints at the same time. You can even bring in your jaw. Wake that up. And this is literally one of my most favorite ways to warm up. To travel through all the joints, feeling their connections. So now just be free. Enjoy your tension or looseness. Once again, what happens in the quality of your movements when I bring in the element air. So let's get lighter and lighter in our movements. Invite that flute into you and try to be in all places at once. That takes a lot of focus, I know. I'm going to turn up the music a little bit and you just follow the music, but I'm going to call out one or the other joint to focus on. Be everywhere. And now just arm. Together with the other leg. How is the rest of your body connected? Stop the leg, join with the other arm. Freeze and legs. Lift and lift. Reminder, you never have to do exactly what I do. Just pick up on the quality and follow your own enjoyment of movement. All joints. Just a little bit more, and we're going to take it into space. Just allow yourself to travel. And as you hear different dynamics in the music, you can follow that. Like one image I had, you know these blown up men that are standing in front of car sales buildings? So if you let that image once in a while go through you, and you're one of those blown up mannequins that blow in the wind, what happens to your dance? What happens to the looseness in your body? And just do what feels good. And with this image, I let you go for a couple minutes and just fly and travel on your own. So dive in. Maybe you feel like a bird flying. Feel your own breath. When you want to let it go a little more into a wilder, stormy realm, allow it, and then slow down whenever you feel inclined to do so. And we're going to be playing with slow motion some more. Just let yourself dance for a moment, like a leaf that gets carried through the air. Noticing more and more the ground underneath you. Maybe reaching further into the ground and below. Keep listening inside. So we're getting a little heartbeat in the music. Enjoy picking that up if you want. Still, try to be in all joints at once. Enjoy it before we start the slow motion journey. It's free dance. And let yourself be inspired by anything you see, really. Even in your own living room, or porch, or lawn, wherever you are. Give yourself the below more and more. All joints. And more play with the pulse of the music, the heat of the music, and slow it down. Go somewhere else with your pace. And whenever you're inclined, pick it up again. Slow it down anytime you want. So what happens when you slow down? Just the quality of the space, air around you changed. Pick it up again. That blowy man. And how does he blow slow motion? What would happen? More and more, please. Focus onto your feet. How do they touch the ground right now? Can you bring your energy down? Maybe you have images of an African dancer. Just bring your energy, your center, your forces. Bring them down. Still nourishing your joints, particularly the one that may need you. Bring your energy down. Okay, didn't wanna go down for me. Okay, music off. Now listen inside. Feel your breath. Yes, and I hear you saying music cutting out. This may be streaming, yours, mine, we don't know. We'll see a little bit what the source was when I watched the video. My apologies, just take it as it is. This is not a perfect setting, but I'm actually very close to maybe get another microphone and hopefully improve that. Below, breath. Slow down a little bit or let your breathing slow down. And for now, I want you to send your breathing into the ground through each step you're doing. And if you lift your foot and you place it with the heel first, and you see it there, and roll your energy into the ground, how slow feels good. And you may think you are slow, but you can still go slower. So this is not a streaming issue right now that I'm slowing down, because I know sometimes it looks like this. No, I'm doing this on purpose, and I want you to try to find how your exhale can be the motor of your movements. Allow your hands to walk on the air as well. I need to be a little further back. Maybe we all actually go really fast all the way back, as far as you can go back in your space, and we just breathe and step forward. Slow motion. Each exhale takes you one step further out. So we come towards each other. You find your pace and try and focus onto all joints at the same time. It's okay if you are a little noisy exhaling. Any sh or f is nice, anything works. And now imagine that the air in your space gets a little denser. And allow yourself to express this with your hands. So you need to move and shift the air out of your way. And you open up your space that way. So this may remind you of Tai Chi, and I think there are some principles that definitely overlap. And I want you to feel your center, your hara. But our focus right now is how much can you focus on all the joints in your body at the same time? Do you notice their well-being, their desire? All directions are yours. So I invite you to do a few really extreme exhales, nice and loud, before we pick up the pace a little bit. Shift the air all around you and always into the below. Yes, reach up in order to come down. All right, let's pick up the pace a little bit, and I would like you to go into a little movement of expressing focus. So you probably know the warrior stance, so please have one foot forward and the leg that's facing the screen opening up, and just go into the warrior two position, facing your arm reaching forward. Just notice how your joints have to carry, and then please stretch your front leg, tilt over, reach up, and just notice the shifts and the changes your body goes through if you come to an A-frame stretch. Drop your head, nice and loose. One inhale, exhale, bend your back knee, roll along your front leg, open up to the diagonal, one of the movements of last class. Grab a sling back there, flip over, open your arms, and here you are in warrior two position towards the other side. And with this, one time we're going to go the other direction, stretch sideways, keep cascading down into A-frame. Notice the stretch in all your joints. Exhale, bend your back knee, and exhale along the front leg, all the way open, back, noticing the shifts and changes. Shoo, and again, flip it over into warrior two. Or now just go again into free form. Maybe you want to do it the same way, to the same direction you just came from. Maybe you want to go fast for a moment and then slow it down. So don't even think, but let your body shift and move through these different positions, enjoying a stretch wherever your body carries you to. And you may notice as you cascade down here and there, center is a good option too, that you come really close to the floor. So give yourself a nice lunge here and there. Stretching your legs, stretching your joints, feeling your strength, going back and forth a little bit. And you notice you can bring your knee gently to the ground. Try that to the other side. As open and as flexible as you are. Doesn't have to be all the way down like me, but you notice, oh, here you are very close to the ground. So I'd like to do a little transition here, checking in with you, but also I'd like to share some other dancers. I sometimes do this in the middle, sometimes in the end. So you're gonna have a few minutes here where you watch just such beautiful dancers. Oh no, wait, I have to go here, sorry. And you can be inspired. I'm sure they're way beyond our personal abilities, but that's kind of the point. We wanna learn from what they have to offer. So right now, let's take a little break watching other dancers, which is something that we often do in improv classes when we're together as a group. And then we will come back and do some much easier floor work. I want you to study their movements though, and just notice how are they working with their joints and how are they working with their dynamic, whether they are fast or slow. What happens when they go really slow? So have fun.
Be yourself on your way and don't ever look back to check it. I'm okay and don't ever be sorry that you chose me instead. Cause I don't want regrets and I'd rather be rid of it. And when you want someone who cares, who will know how you feel when you don't want to share, who will show you support when you've lost your meaning. Just remember this time when you chose not to be with me. And I tried to defend how I thought we would play out our game and confess that I love you more than he does. So choose me instead. Oh, choose me instead. 'Cause he's not good enough for you. He's not good enough for you. He won't do the things that I would do. He's not good enough for you. He's not good enough to be even half the man that he should be. And I watch you choose him instead of me. I watch you choose him instead of me. Go, be in love, I don't care, but don't ever pretend that we're both unaware. Cause the truth is that you still permit me to be close enough that I know that you don't want me to leave. And then I remember he's there, and he's been there for years at your side like a stain. And when I see you with him, in your eyes there's a pain, and it traps you inside like you can't get away.
Okay. Hi, little baby. Okay, here we're back. Was this beautiful or not? So I'm very, very well aware that we may not have those very same technical skills to just go, hey, let's just do phase A here. But let's see how comfortable we can get with some floor work again. So please, I hope you have a good floor that you can work on or adjust it whichever way you want. Maybe also your camera that I can see you as best as possible for those of you here. And if you want a blanket or a yoga mat, just go get it. And let's just start very, very simple like we do. Let's see, I gotta figure out my angle here. I think that's probably good. And let us just sit and bend all the joints that you have. Point your fingertips towards you and lean back a little bit. And just hang into your spine like a hammock. And then lift out so that your shoulders are nice and open. And just fold your legs to the one and the other side. And notice by simply doing that, how all the joints are connected. Again, try to not hang in your shoulders like this unless you're really aware of it and you're purposely playing with that. So just by going back and forth, you get a nice massage. And you can soak around back and forth. Now, gradually fold over, reach up, and just bend towards the below. Give yourself a few breaths down and up, down and up. Feel the strength in your arms, the joints in your arms, wrist, elbow, and just breathe it. And let's go over to the other side. I'm just going to adjust my angle here a little bit so that you notice. So just play with that and eventually play with that whole space. So you are now in the below world. Maybe you want to reach forward to do this change. In between. What does your body want to do? What are your joints capable of? Maybe you want to reach up with your legs. We had a long session last class for that, with fanning the legs open, because we were playing with the diagonal. So this can be part of it. You can add another stretch if you feel like it. What does your joints tell you? And listen into the floor, move from one side to another, and keep exploring. You can roll over your back and switch sides and rock back and forth this way. Feel where you can relax in between. You can, of course, roll down onto your belly. It's now all about kind of the same dance that we did before. It's standing, trying to focus on all the joints. Allow yourself some twirls here and there. And I'm going to put on some music, and I'm just going to give you now about 3-4 minutes and just explore your dance on the floor. Inspired by each other. Let's go to a little bit different music. Here we go. Whoops. Okay.
All along it was a fever, joints. A cold, sweat, hot-headed believer.
Energy into the floor.
I threw my hands in the air, said, show me something. He said, if you dare, come a little closer. Round and around and around and around we go. Ooh, now tell me now, tell me now, tell me now you know. Not really sure how I feel about it. Something in the way you move makes me feel like I can't live without you. It takes me all the way. I want you to stay. It's not much of a life you're living. It's not just something you take, it's given. Round and around and around and around we go. Oh, now tell me now, tell me now, tell me now you know. Not really sure how I feel about it. Something in the way you move makes me feel like I can't live without you, and it takes me all the way. I want you to stay. Ooh, the reason I hold you
Discover.
Ooh, 'cause I need this hope gone. Funny, you're the broken one, but I'm the only one who needed saving.
Focus.
'Cause when you've never seen the light, it's hard to know which one of us is caving. Not really sure how I feel about it. Something in the way you move makes me feel like I can't live without you, and it takes me all the way. I want you to stay. I want you to stay. I want you to stay.
Tailor it towards your capabilities. Just take the beginning of the next song.
There is a house built out of
Can we bring it up?
one floor
Into standing.
walls and windows.
Whenever you're ready.
Tables and chairs warmed by all of the dust.
Discover.
This is a place where I don't feel alone. This is a place where I feel at home.
Bring it out once more time. The airman, the storm, the slow motion, and of course it can take you back.
For me,
Be free. Be free. Serve yourself. Slow motion. More and more. Back into slow motion. Please keep flowing a little while longer. Notice your heartbeat. Notice your breathing. Notice more and more in this class it is about finding your flow, finding your transition maybe not breaking ever. And again, how much can you be in all joints at once? I'd like you to pick your left arm and just as you're dancing, draw a circle in the air. A nice, slow, comfortable circle. And the right arm, so we're probably not like a mirror, but across from one another. Try to draw a rectangle. And also, again, your pace. You can stand still for this if you want. You can keep moving and just breathing in your movements, however you like to flow, which I prefer doing, but you don't have to do that. And now let's try it both at the same time. One circle, one triangle meeting each other. Again, it can be your dance, shifting weight, however it happens, just don't think. But what I want you to think about, so focus on both at the same time. One hand is drawing a circle. I hope you can see this well. The other is simply drawing a circle in the air. One hand a triangle, did I say circle? And the other, the circle. Now, air, storm. What if the circle starts going faster and faster? But not your triangle. Is that possible? Can they stay disconnected yet connected that way by you determining, ooh, one side goes fast, the other goes slow or stays the same? Moments where it works quite well, and then one gets pulled over. Now let's keep the circle nice and slow and see if you can speed up your triangle. Okay, and both again in some kind of a mutual flowy kind of space. So just a little tickle how we can be independent, similar to the rub and tap kind of thing, but it's different, left and right, expanding that way. Now I'd like us to focus on this triangle, going up together, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. So we have a clear 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And on each one, let's step to the side and step. So now instead of using numbers, I just like to replace them with syllables. So the syllables for the 3 is, as you should already know, many of you, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la. So please say this with me, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la. Now, dance with all arms, ga. Just own that 1, 1, 2, 3, but all of the time counting is just too much left brain activity. So ga, ma, la, ga. So you notice I'm stopping kind of right now and then stepping. So let's see, can we step and know what we anticipate? Ma, la, ga. So everything has a little impact for the step, but in between we expand and flow. Oh, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la, sha, ma, la, ga. So this is a simple rhythm that we would be waltzing in. And I'm just going to introduce that there is, of course, something in between our steps. Ma, la, 2, 3. Ma, la, 2, 3. Whatever you want to say, but again, I prefer syllables. Ma, la, ma, la. Now let's focus onto the ma, la, ma, la. And throw that ma out. Ma, ma. But still the ga, ma. So ga is our step. Ga, ma, ga, ma, ga, ma, ga, ma, Aga, ma, aga, ma, aga. Okay, I'm going to give you a little material and then we're going to dance this with a song. Ma, aga, ma. Oh, but there's still one in between. Aga, ma, la, la, la. Oh, much shorter in front of our step. La, la, la. That would be the classical syncopation. La, la, la. So you have a flop step, pop step, just a step, and in between you flop. So is it possible to focus onto these different syllables? So now let's try to focus all the way onto our steps. Let's go again. Gum, mala, gum, mala, gum, mala. Now let's step the ma. Gum, mala, gum, mala, gum, mala, gum. Let's step the la. Gumma, la, gumma, la, gumma, la, gumma, la, gumma, la, gumma. Let's step the ma. Ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la. You gotta definitely speak it yourself. Ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la, ga, ma, la. Go back to the ga. Ooh, gammala, 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 gum. Now, if you speak all the syllables, gammala, and this is just a teaser. This would be another session to really for all of us to go there, but whoever may even be familiar with the triple time offbeat. So there is a space in between each syllable. So we can go ga, ma, la, 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 ga, ma, la. So for some of us, this gets very stormy and we fall and blow all over the place. So all this material, I just like to give you one or two more songs from a different source. So I hope it works just as fine. One a little slower. And you try and see if you can find those different places in rhythm, the hot spots. So feel nice and slow. Of course, you may be a dancer and really love dancing the waltz, then be my guest.
Life's got you down.
For this thing that you notice in this world we're living in right now, if you want, waltz away. And there you have it. Gamala, gamala, gamala. So the mala is when we switch directions. It's the light part, the airy part. So let's just focus on the big one. Can you still feel all your joints? How are they moving? Is there any place where it's stiffening up? Then please release it. Maybe through the ma. Here we go. Ma. 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 Step on ma. Ma. It's like a little power to look at the music from a different place. Let's try the la. 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 Back to God. Just expand. Enjoy your joints. Can you dance the malas in your heart? Open up. Focus on one or the other. And anytime you go like, oh no, I want to stick with this. Whatever she says out there, that's fine.
Love's got shut down, and you can't make a sound, 'cause despair has stolen your song.
If you
Raise
want to
up
try.
your fist into the abyss. Scream coward, get off my lawn. Oh, something. There's always a reason to play. Oh, there's nothing
One more time. If you just walk with me. And with this, I invite you to, one more time, just flow down in your timing to the floor. Maybe this time, let's reach up nice and tall, stretching out through all our joints, and bring the energy down, 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 down. Start at the top of your head, bend your knees, and roll down, cascade very gradually, noticing each vertebra. Notice if you traveled through all of them. Notice if you served your body well through this journey. Exhale deeply, bend your knees, loosen your head, come back to the top of your spine, the skull area. Bend your knees as far as you can so that you easily reach the floor, and just one more time, come down, 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 all the way below. Roll over to the back, open up, and just take a few breaths, relaxing. Oops, I'm totally out of the picture this time. Okay, here I am, sorry. Just take a moment to relax, to let it resonate, to just notice how your body feels, how this journey worked for you. Just be present, allow your focus to drop deeply within in your favorite position. Take 3 deep breaths. Deeply into your belly. Exhale loudly. One more. And then in your timing, this time let's start with the joints of our fingers, of our wrist. Both at the same time is okay. Our elbow. You could imagine that a whole nother dance, a whole nother journey could start. Our shoulders playing with those joints, joining in with the toes and your feet, your knees, bringing everything back into motion, noticing how they are connected, allowing you to notice each vertebra snugging up or lifting, from the floor, and then to your favorite side, gradually roll over and come back to sitting. And come back to the screen to say goodbye. And I say goodbye to everyone who joined via YouTube. And I see you next time. And we chat a little bit.